AM 560. The Answer.
Stop beating on that piano, squirrel. Talented bastard that you are.
But it was temporary. It was supposed to be temporary. She knew it was temporary. What did Biden do, the Biden administration do, in its last year in office, Stephen?
Well, so first of all, there you see that throwback from Janet Napolitano, who said there's an earthquake in Haiti, which, by the way, is total BS that we have TPS for earthquakes. But put that aside. There's an earthquake in Haiti, so she's announcing TPS for a few months while they're recovering from an earthquake. That was in 2010, 15 years ago. Then the Biden administration, in its last year, extends TPS to every single illegal alien from Haiti while they are flying them en masse into Springfield, Ohio, across the Midwest. It was a formal policy of replacing the communities that lived in, settled, and sustained these communities for generations. It was one of the most heinous things this government has ever done. And yes, under President Trump, let me be very clear. The illegal alien Haitians are going back to Haiti. They can build their country there.
Fantastic. So we offset the already scandal that is the illegal aliens, and in Democrat areas called sanctuary states and cities, you've been paying for them anyway.
A campaign on universal health care. We're delivering that. We are implementing our ideals. We are manifesting this principle, this fundamental.
It's a manifestation of an implementation, squirrel. Do you understand? Ignore the fact that he has bankrupted a state. When he was elected, had a surplus, now a deficit of billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Mental notion that so many of us have been preaching for years and years and years. Universal health care for all, regardless of pre-existing condition, regardless of the ability to pay, and regardless of your immigration status. If you care not just about values and principles of morality, but if your only values and principles are advanced.
You know, it's a funny thing, morality. Who exactly are you paying for? These are the wretched. These are the scoundrels. These are the heroin addicts, drug addicts, and other forms of wasted life. Look at it this way. We've been doing it domestically. Here are a couple of Chicago public school honor roll students that decided to tear up a CBS News van for no apparent reason other than it was there.
The good news is that the crew was unharmed. And while the Chicago Police Department has not confirmed this, CBS Chicago is saying that 3 men were arrested in Brighton Park in connection with this incident. Apparently.
So they're men. When you catch them and they're in the middle of a crime, they're just kids when they're taking over your streets.
After some sort of police chase. Now, a live truck for CBS Chicago did remain parked on Solidarity Drive near the Adler Planetarium into the early hours of this evening. Its windshield smashed off to the side. Surrounded by police tape was the news crew's equipment, a camera and tripod, everything that they needed to go live during their 4 o'clock show, when police say that an undetermined number of men in a white truck got out and...
Punks. They weren't men. Chicago public school students, scumbags, lowlifes that society pays $33,000 a year so you can pretend they go to school. And when you look at the other ramifications, rarely do you get a name of somebody who's been a victim of these wildings. But this particular one was upsetting on a multitude of levels, mainly because the guy who they killed was a decent, hard-working guy. And you may not know his name, aside from this show and maybe a newscaster too, but you should, to put a face on the victims of the people society pays for their rent, for their food, for their miseducation. How do you quantify how much society paid for one of the murderers of this decent Chicagoan?
Thomas Kevin Barlow, everybody knew him as Kevin. He spent 18 years working for the CTA, a job that he loved, working as a switch worker for the Transit Authority. It was while he was working in his dream job that he stepped outside and was shot and killed. Family and friends describe him as someone that went out of his way to be in front of, to call the people that he loved.
Lost a very good brother today.
Percy Greenwood has known Kevin Barlow for decades.
Kevin is one of those guys that give you faith and friendship again. You know, he's going to always reach out to you. He's going to always make sure you're okay.
Barlow was 57 years old and a father to an adult daughter. He was doing the job he loved, working as a switch operator for CTA. Someone shot and killed him
outside the rail yard.
You take a person down, 99th place in the state, a male that's laying in the street, unknown if he's breathing or not.
You know what his crime was, Squirrel, or what he was killed for? He had a nice car. He had a nice car when he got out of work. Chicago public school student, graduate, maybe not, dropout, who the frack knows. But another recipient of socialism and welfare killed him because he had a nice car. That's what socialism finances. That's what $33,000 a year is used to educate. Murderers, not guns, don't kill people. Scumbags do. Democrats. John Piatone.
Sean, until Trump goes in and does away with all the theocrats in Iran, this is never going to stop. I am military. It's got to stop. He already whacked almost all of them. We need to whack all of them. Iran, when I grew up, was a very beautiful place. All the theocrats and the higher level military need to go. End of story.
Well, it's a cultist
Thank
of a
you.
different thing, and you're talking about a Carthaginian peace, and that's fine for foreign policy, but never get too frazzled. I understand that people are thinking that Iran is important. What's the GDP of Iran, Squirrel? Do you know? Less than half the revenue of Walmart. So if he's killing the theocracy of which people allow a cult to run their area, that's interesting because you could just cut him off from financing, which ironically is the same answer for the theocracies that run our Democrat areas. After all, these aren't policies. This is a religion of some sorts. It's a religion where you pretend socialism is a financial plan or a policy rather than what it really is. It's a cult. And the people who support American Democrats are just as brainwashed as the Islamo-Nazis who support Iranian theocrats, pretending to be imams. And supreme leaders. How is the supreme leader from Iran any different than Pritzker or Newsom? Oh, you're right, Squirrel, the costume. And maybe soap. 312-642-5600.
He believes in freedom, capitalism, and individual liberty. And because of that, he's become an enemy of the state. He's Sean Thompson, and this is The Sean Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.